What's up, everyone? I'm back with another video today. I want to talk a little bit about, does Deadlock need a draft phase right now? I think draft and ban phase. I think it does for a couple of reasons, mostly queue times, which I will explain shortly. It will also just help out with the out of place characters in the meta before a patch, which is a good way to bridge the time between patches when the developers can't make any changes. Especially right now with how strong Gun Yamato is, it feels like some games get decided on who has the Yamato and not who is a better team just because of how strong the character is. Which is a little bit frustrating, especially if you're trying to rank up and like stuff like that. And so now on queue times, I was struggling with my queue times for a while until I started to put more characters into my pool, which led me to shorten my queue time significantly. So you're probably thinking, how does this apply? Which I will clear up right now. So the matchmaker right now has to find 12 people all playing different characters to create a match around the similar skill range. But with a draft, you would just have to queue into a game, and the matchmaker needs to find 12 people within a similar queue skill range to put into a one match, instead of having to find 12 people of all the same skill range and trying to find them all playing different characters. So I definitely think that this is something that the game needs, and it's only a matter of time before it gets added. I would just say the biggest negative to something like this is that there just is not enough characters. I think it could definitely work, and I think it's something that should probably be trialed, because I feel like, especially with how they did ranked, like I think ranked is a good example of how Deadlock is trying to try stuff and make stuff work and see what happens. You know, we're playtesters. We're all just trying to get data on the game, and so the best way for them to get data on a draft and ban system would be right now. And the way that they would implement it was just maybe you have a separate queue for a little bit. Maybe you add a 1 week ranked period with a draft and ban system, and then after that week, people can like give a little survey at the end of the games you can rate like super fun, less fun, and you can pick what you want. Like people can give their feedback on it and stuff like that. And so I definitely think it would be helpful. I think there's no downside to trialing it and see what it can do. So leave a comment down below if you think how a ban system would work, a draft and ban system. But yeah, I definitely think that the game is in a place right now with queue times and just people feeling frustrated with the gameplay and a lot of people not feeling in control. Like, it really does suck when you queue into a game and you have a Wraith, Infernus, Haze, you have like 5 carries on your team. It doesn't really feel like sorry about that. It doesn't feel like you have a ton of agency if you're playing one of those carry characters, because it's like, what do you do when you're the Infernus and you queue into a Infernus, Wraith, Haze, Yamato game? Like, what am I supposed to do? It puts you in a weird spot where these characters are not, they're not unique enough yet. They don't have enough build paths, and people haven't figured out ways to build them in non-care. Like, some of them do. I'm kind of speaking in a vacuum right now of a scenario, but it puts certain people in like alright, I either have to be selfish and take all the farm, and like, that's what I would do. But it puts the lobby in an interesting spot, because it's like, how are we supposed to win if we have no type of team comp? Like, if they like when ranked was out, if they had a draft for ranked and like we could pick real team comps, like I think that would have improved the player experience a ton, just because it didn't feel fun to queue into a game where you have no Abrams, you have no Shiv, you have no frontline. And they did release a patch, I think two weeks ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, where they said they're prioritizing putting frontliners on your team, but they never said who the frontliners were. So it's like, how are we like? That doesn't make sense. You have to define what a frontliner is. Like, their definition could be different from the real definition. And so that's just something that the game will improve on as time goes on, and as more people pick it up, more people play, we will definitely see more discussion around the pick and ban phase, and I definitely think it's only a matter of time, especially if you've ever watched the tournament. I have a good video on tournaments that'll be linked at the end of this video. The tournaments always have a pick and ban phase, and like when you watch the players draft and ban, it's a whole different part of the game. Like you can counter pick people because you see, oh, they have a Vindicta, we can pick a Great Talon, and so on and so on. Like it gives you it gives the game a whole nother level of skill expression, of a way to get better. You can start understand, like that was one of the biggest things on Overwatch, was you would understand how to counter other characters, and that some characters had a better matchup against others. And it's the same thing in Deadlock, just you don't get to pick. But that's something that a ban phase or a pick and ban phase would add, and it would also give some of these characters some wiggle room to be a counter pick. Like I think Great Talon's one of the best examples of just a good counter pick. Like he has his Spirit Snare, which is a curse, which can cancel. Oh, Molly. She doesn't want to say hi. Oh, that's cute. Oh my god, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Great Talon. He has his curse, which can cancel channeling abilities, like a Moe and Curl ultimate, and he also has a really good matchup into Vindicta. And right now, he's not like the strongest character, but in a situation like that, where if he could play against a Moe and Curl and a Vindicta, like that's a really good game for. Oh, come here, Molly. Come here. No, come here. Look at my friend. Say hi, Molly. Don't stand on my phone. Ugh. But, oh my god, I completely lost my train of thought. What the hell was I talking about? I'm gonna pause it for a second. So yeah, it just kind of opens up the game to have certain characters have a role and a place in the game, whereas counter picks and stuff like that, which would add another level of agency to the game, which I think is one of the main components, you could definitely say, for adding a pick and ban. Just the biggest argument against it is that there's not enough characters, and like I have another really good video another video on characters and how the Hero Labs is more of a character graveyard, not a like a playtest area, because like those characters haven't had, I just checked yesterday, some of those characters haven't had changes to them in months. Like November was the last time they had a change. Like that's almost 2 months ago. So do with that information as you will, but I don't know, it kind of just makes you think. Like I feel like we do definitely have enough characters, and I think that the game is going down a path of not one-tricking characters, and it's forcing you to play more characters, and I think that is a really good thing with how they make you queue right now, where you have to pick 3 different characters at least that you would be okay playing with. So that's just a little bit about it, pick and ban phase. I definitely would like to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments down below about whether or not it's needed or it's too early. I definitely think it's too early right now, but maybe in a month or 2 months. I think they're going to eventually release a bunch of characters at once and reinvigorate some hype. So we'll see. Thank you for watching. Video tomorrow.